and swallow your pride for things that you thought that didn't exist that you might find. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, dear viewers, to a brand new series of the Pool of Ideas. I'm your host for the program, Junaid Dar. Dear viewers, I'd like to begin by welcoming you to this fantastic program where we are looking at different ideas, different ideologies from across the world. It's important that we understand these ideologies so we can understand how the world got to where it is today. How do people formulate their ideas and opinions of one another? And as Muslims, how can we understand these ideologies so that we can move forward and prosper with the framework that has been set out? Dear viewers, also we have a very fantastic or unique feature of this program, and that is the fact that we talk about these ideologies alongside Islam. So what is the Islamic perspective on this? Is it allowed? Is it not allowed? Etc. So our topic for today is imperialism and colonialism, and we have a very special guest who's going to be answering our questions. Let's begin by introducing him, and then we'll go straight into our program. If I can begin by introducing Dr. Mahmoud Al-Khalifa, I'd like to welcome you to the program. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. It's nice to be here again on the program.
Thank you very much, Doctor. We've been discussing many ideologies and many theories, and the ideology we have today is that of imperialism and colonialism. Can I ask you to just give us a brief introduction into what are these two things?
Imperialism and colonialism are two different notions. Imperialism is more on the political side. Colonialism is more on the economic side. So basically, imperialism is when a country takes uses force or political power or political influence to control another country or a group of countries.
Okay.
This imperialism could be just political, and it could be a kind of colonialism where the country itself sends armies to a specific country and control it through coercion and force.
Okay.
And even sometimes we have what we call settler colonialism, where it sends people from its population and settles them in the occupied area, like what happened in Palestine.
Okay.
Israel is a settler colonial state which controlled the territory through settling Jewish people from across Europe and the world into not an empty land but a full land, the populated land of Palestine.
Okay.
So imperialism is about control of the destinies of other nations through the exercise of military or political or economic control. So through imperial rule you can control the economy of a country, and this is some sort of an economic imperialism. Or you can control a country's political decisions, or you can use occupation as a solution right away to you occupy the country. So you have many types of imperialisms and colonialism.
And you made mention of the state of Israel. Apart from that, is there any real examples of imperialism or colonialism, or can we say that they are extinct?
I don't think so. Imperialism, America is an imperial country.
Okay.
It still uses its political as well as economic as well as military muscles to control other countries, threats of direct occupation. It is CIA operatives continue to move around the Arab and Islamic world and other countries to they start coups. For example, in Iran during Mossadeq's Mossadegh was a prime minister, and he was democratically elected, but the CIA started a coup and replaced him with the Shah. So Basically, in Latin America, the same happens. So instead of direct military intervention, America will use its political intelligence forces to disrupt a country's political system if it stands in America's interests.
Okay, and Doctor, what is the purpose of imperialism? Why would, for example, the states want to take control of so many countries and have such a powerful influence in its politics?
Because America is a privileged country. Now 6%, it has 6% of the whole population of the world, and it controls 50% of the world's economy and wealth. So to keep that status quo, you need to control others, prevent them from competing with you. So control is to keep that 6% population in a condition far better than the rest of the world.
And would that involve the exploitation of others' resources in order to strengthen yourself?
Of course, America is to protect its cheap oil and keep it flowing into the United States and Europe. It has launched like 2 wars, the first and second Gulf Wars.
Okay.
Although there were wars that were justified under different aims, like punishing Saddam for his involvement with 9/11 attackers, which turned out to be a hoax. So basically, America is trying to defend its economic interests by launching wars that could devastate a country. For example, if you look at Iraq, 2 million people died as a result of the embargo on Iraq and as a result of the war.
Okay.
So basically, America is ready, and Europe is ready to launch wars, to impose sanctions, debilitating sanctions on countries to make them go in line with American interests.
Okay.
And this was not only in Iraq, it's in Cuba, North Korea, and other countries.
Okay, interesting. Also, Doctor, what is the relationship between imperialism and globalization?
Imperialism is a global movement. It has by imperialism and globalism is a kind of control, political, cultural control of other nations.
Okay.
So imperialism could be called a globalizing force.
Okay.
Because by invading or exercising political and cultural influence on its colonies, it can do that in different colonies, and as such globalize certain ideas, or let us say certain economic systems. For example, now the West imposes not just democracy or its form of democracy, it imposes certain, let us say, through its economic force, it imposes, it decides the taste starting from